Guess what's a thing again? This is a thing again. Helmet just kind of rolling on its own accord. But yes, it is time once again for Kerbal Space Program. Command Pod Mark 1, why not? So, I guess what I'm gonna do is do another time lapse. Because they're easy for me. But there's the guy who hammers the ground. But yes, they're easy for me to do, and until I get a real editor, I wouldn't really expect much else. Step 1. Put a parachute on. Step 1. Put a parachute on straight. Step 2. Begin. Heavyweight rocket, I'll give it that. Initially it has 4,500 thrust, and this has 250. Shouldn't be too much of a challenge. This is 200 thrust. Hopefully we'll manage to make a landing pod. RCS fuel tanks here, 3 of them, big ones. 1 small RCS fuel tank for the landing pod, if we ever make it to landing. I needed an SAS that was, hidden for landing, so I would need to shred off as much weight as I could. So I have the .8 SAS, which weighs the same as this one, I guess. Well then, alright. That's alright though, because in the end, other than the parachute, it probably works out better because it's a bit more maneuverable, not as tall. It's all in theory, but we can only find out one way if it works, and that way often ends in death. It's not awful, I guess, but okay, it's pretty... Oh man, we have Jebediah. Jebediah is almost always happy in this game. Okay, that's a lot higher than I thought it would be. He doesn't have much of a view. He has strange things. Can control his throttle in here. Okay. This is very high. I almost feel like it's not really gonna work well. Only one way to find out. Oh god, I never turned on SAS. So, there's really only a few ways this can go. Awesome or awful. Or moderately okay. I don't know which it's gonna be. This winglet looks like it's gonna collide. But that's okay. Not consuming fuel from the other tanks. And our speed is marvelous. That's the best part about this so far. Because with a speed like this, we don't even need all that fuel. Inertia has us covered. So, we're 6 tanks in, got 3 more, and we're already pretty high up and going at a crazy speed. In reality, these speeds are absolutely unheard of. However, that's alright. So, with this turn, separating stages had me worried. Alright. So, we've gotten ourselves into a pretty good spot, actually. I have confidence in this rocket. I have confidence. Because now, we begin to attempt to get into orbit, and then we can shoot for the moon once we're in orbit. If we get into orbit. We probably will, considering we have 2 tanks left. But you never know. Jebediah has a small view of the stars. His cockpit is not the best. One tank of fuel left. However, things are going to start happening very quickly here. I hate that it cuts out the fuel noise briefly. Okay. So it looks like we're going to achieve orbit. However, okay. We're very limited on RCS. And our orbit. That's okay. Our orbit is terrible. Just thought I would throw that out there. This is quite possibly the worst and most eccentric orbit ever. Okay. So I'm debating now flying blind to the moon and hopefully intersecting. Wow, that's how fast we're moving. We're 13 kilometers away from the stage we just shed. Test everything works out. I think that we won't make it to the moon with this version, but we're very close. So, I don't know why I just extended that again. Kinda wanted to just flip it over. Get a nice view of Kerbin. If we could. Looks like the best view we're gonna get. Let's fast forward this a bit. No, oh god, why? I turned on my thruster, and I can't. Well, I ran out of fuel. Something was happening. God knows what just happened. But I did something. And it kind of caused my doom, if you will. So I guess now we get to just plummet back down to Earth. Or Kerbin. Well, there's a design flaw. And a pretty big one. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good at all. Jebediah is happy, unaware of his innocence of death. It's coming. Space, Earth. Space, ground. Space, ground. However, we're falling very rapidly and are not expected to make it out alive. Boop. What have I done? SOS, SOS! Jebediah! He's moving upward. I think we might have discovered the secret to perpetual energy. Because what have we done? Oh my god. Oh god, he's falling again. Right. Turn on your jetpack. His arms are hanging. Oh god. Okay, he probably should have just stayed unconscious. Try and slow the descent. He's moving too fast. We can't save him. Okay. Alright, I can get down to this. Have we? I believe we just... Yes. We did. Well... In reality, the flight was unsuccessful. However, kinda broke it. So I'm gonna make some changes. That's what you can expect in the next episode. And I guess to end, you can enjoy some footage of my brother when he tried to play this game.
It's like burning the ground.